Hey, good afternoon, everybody. The Unraveler here. I have something to challenge. So, one of the things I hear frequently from theists is atheists have to prove that God doesn't exist, or else he does. You can't prove he doesn't exist, therefore, you have no reason to believe he doesn't. Well, it's not exactly true. I also hear theists constantly accuse atheists of having a worldview, a belief system. It is, in fact, a religious worldview, when no, it's not. Let me try to illustrate this. Let's just use the number 0 for a moment. Let's personify 0. In fact, let's personify 2 number zeros. 0 number 1. Comes a 0 number 2 one day, and 0 number 1 says to 0 number 2, hey, 0 number 2, 1 plus 7 equals 55. And 0 number 2 says, I don't really see any reason to believe that. There's not enough evidence to support your claim. And 0 number 1 says to 0 number 2, oh yeah? Prove it. You have to prove that 1 plus 7 doesn't equal 55. And 0 number 2 says, no, I don't. There's just not enough reason to believe that it does. So until you can give me more evidence that substantiates that claim, I don't have to leave this place of 0. I don't have to jump into some belief system that you have and create a worldview around it. I just don't need to have a worldview about it. I don't. I'm just staying here. Theism and atheism works the same way. Theists come along and they say, hey, God exists. And the atheist says, well, I just don't see enough evidence for it. There's not enough evidence to substantiate the claim that God exists. And the theist says to the atheist, oh yeah, you have to prove that God exists, or else, that God doesn't exist, rather, or else he does. And the atheist says, no, I'm just going to stay right here at ground 0 because I see no reason to maintain such a claim. There's no substantive evidence for your claim. That doesn't mean that atheists have any sort of worldview or philosophy or religious belief system about theism. It just means we don't accept that there's any grounds to hold on to it. So we stay at ground 0. That, my friends, is what atheism is. It isn't some claim. It isn't some belief system. It's simply staying where we are, saying, until you give me something better than that, I'm just not going to buy it. So theists, you got a lot more work to do to prove your claim that God exists than to try to tell the atheist they have to prove he doesn't. That's just not going to work. All right?